Stop right there. Before you grab that box of frozen mac and cheese for tonight's dinner, you need to see this, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you look at the frozen comfort food aisle forever. Some of America's most popular frozen mac and cheese brands are hiding ingredients so shocking, so processed, and so far from real food that calling them mac and cheese should be considered false advertising. We're talking about products made with fake cheese that's never seen a cow, pasta that's pumped full of industrial chemicals, and natural flavors that are created in laboratories using compounds you wouldn't want in your cleaning supplies, let alone your dinner. Meanwhile, the frozen food industry has been playing the ultimate comfort food con, convincing busy families that their chemical-laden products are somehow acceptable substitutes for real homemade mac and cheese. But here's the truth that Big Frozen Food doesn't want you to know. Not all frozen mac and cheese is created equal. While some brands are literally serving you plastic cheese on cardboard pasta, others are quietly making frozen mac and cheese that actually tastes like real food and won't make you feel like garbage after eating it. Today we're exposing the 5 frozen mac and cheese brands you should never buy, products that are fooling millions of American families every single week. But don't worry, I'm not here to ruin comfort food forever. We're also revealing the 3 frozen mac and cheese options that are actually worth your money and might even remind you what real mac and cheese is supposed to taste like. If you've ever wondered why some frozen mac and cheese taste like plastic, why your kids get hyper after certain brands, or why you feel bloated and sluggish after eating what's supposed to be comfort food, stick around, because what you discover in the next few minutes could save your family from years of unknowingly eating industrial waste disguised as America's favorite comfort dish. Hey comfort food lovers, welcome back to the channel where we melt away the food industry's lies and serve you the truth about what's really in your food. I've spent years investigating America's most popular frozen foods, and let me tell you, the frozen mac and cheese aisle is one of the most deceptive sections in the entire grocery store. I've analyzed ingredient lists that read like chemistry lab experiments, talked to former employees of major frozen food manufacturers, reviewed FDA reports on food additives, and even visited frozen food production facilities to see how these products are really made. What I discovered will shock you, and the frozen mac and cheese industry is a multi-billion-dollar market built on convincing families that their processed, chemical-laden products are somehow convenient comfort food. They've perfected the art of making industrial cheese powder taste like cheddar, making artificial pasta taste like wheat, and making preservatives seem necessary for freshness, all while charging you premium prices for ingredients that cost pennies to produce. Today's video covers the brands you see at every grocery store: Stouffer's, Lean Cuisine, Marie Callender's, and many more. We're talking about the boxes that fill entire freezer sections, the ones advertised as family favorites, and yes, even some of the premium brands that charge extra for the same industrial processes wrapped in fancier packaging. But here's the thing, I'm not anti-mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is the ultimate comfort food when it's made right. Real cheese, real pasta, real ingredients. The difference is, I want to make sure that when you're feeding your family comfort food, you're actually giving them comfort, not a science experiment disguised as dinner. Ready to discover which frozen mac and cheese brands are the worst offenders and which ones are actually worth putting in your oven? Let's dive into those freezer boxes and expose the truth about America's frozen comfort food industry. Number 5. Lean Cuisine Vermont White Cheddar Mac and Cheese. Let's start with something that markets itself as a healthier option. Lean Cuisine's Vermont White Cheddar Mac and Cheese promises the comfort of mac and cheese with fewer calories. But what they don't tell you is how they achieve those lower calories, by replacing real ingredients with artificial ones. What's really inside? Lean Cuisine's mac and cheese contains cooked enriched macaroni, which is pasta stripped of nutrients and artificially fortified, water, reduced fat cheddar cheese, skim milk, modified cornstarch, butter, salt, sodium phosphate, lactic acid, annatto extract, and natural flavors. But here's the kicker. To reduce calories, they've diluted the real cheese with water, modified cornstarch, and artificial thickeners. The reduced fat deception. To make this healthier, Lean Cuisine uses reduced fat cheese and skim milk, then adds modified cornstarch and sodium phosphate to create the illusion of creaminess. You're getting less real cheese and more industrial thickeners. The result is a product that tastes artificial and leaves you unsatisfied, which defeats the purpose of comfort food. The portion problem: Lean Cuisine portions are notoriously small. This mac and cheese is only 10 ounces, which is barely enough for one person, let alone a satisfying meal. You're paying premium prices for a tiny portion of diluted mac and cheese that won't even fill you up. The sodium overload. Despite being marketed as healthier, this product contains over 650 milligrams of sodium. That's more than a quarter of your daily recommended intake in one small portion. The high sodium is necessary to make the artificial ingredients taste like something you'd want to eat. Why avoid it? You're paying for the illusion of healthy mac and cheese, but you're getting a tiny portion of artificial diluted comfort food that won't satisfy you. Real mac and cheese made with quality ingredients in reasonable portions is actually more satisfying and better for you than this processed diet version. Number 4, Banquet Mac and Cheese. Banquet positions itself as an affordable family option, but their mac and cheese represents everything wrong with budget frozen food. Cheap ingredients, artificial everything, and zero regard for nutrition or taste. The ingredient nightmare Banquet Mac and Cheese contains cooked enriched macaroni, water, cheese sauce, water, cheddar cheese, modified cornstarch, whey protein concentrate, salt, sodium phosphate, lactic acid, annatto extract, and natural flavors. The cheese sauce is mostly water and modified cornstarch with a little bit of real cheese thrown in for legal purposes. The fake cheese problem? The cheese sauce in Banquet Mac and Cheese is primarily water and modified cornstarch, with just enough real cheese to legally call it cheese sauce. You're essentially eating pasta with thickened water that's been artificially flavored to taste like cheese. The enriched pasta disaster. The macaroni is made from enriched flour, which means they've stripped all the nutrients out of the wheat and then artificially added back synthetic vitamins. It's nutritionally empty pasta that provides calories but no real nourishment. The artificial color issue. The orange color comes from annatto extract, which sounds natural but is often processed with chemical solvents. Real cheddar cheese gets its color from the natural beta-carotene in grass-fed cow's milk, not from added colorings. Why avoid it? Banquet Mac and Cheese is cheap for a reason. It's made with the lowest quality ingredients possible. You're feeding your family pasta with artificial cheese-flavored water. For just a little more money, you can get significantly better quality, or better yet, make real mac and cheese at home. Number 3, Marie Callender's Creamy Vermont Mac and Cheese. Marie Callender's markets itself as homestyle comfort food, but their mac and cheese is a perfect example of how marketing can disguise industrial food production as grandma's cooking. The homestyle deception of Marie Callender's mac and cheese contains cooked enriched macaroni, water, cheddar cheese, modified cornstarch, butter, cream, salt, sodium phosphate, lactic acid, annatto extract, and natural flavors. While it contains more real cheese than some competitors, it's still heavily diluted with water and thickened with industrial starches. The modified cornstarch problem. Modified cornstarch is used to create the illusion of creaminess without using real cream and cheese. It's an industrial thickener that allows manufacturers to use less expensive ingredients while maintaining the texture consumers expect. Real mac and cheese gets its creaminess from actual dairy, not from laboratory modified starches. The sodium phosphate concerns. Sodium phosphate is used as an emulsifier and preservative, but it's also linked to kidney problems and bone loss when consumed regularly. It's used to keep the artificial cheese sauce from separating and to extend shelf life, but it has no place in real comfort food. The portion versus price problem. Marie Callender's charges premium prices for what is essentially industrial mac and cheese with slightly better marketing. You're paying for the nostalgic packaging and homestyle imagery, not for homestyle ingredients or preparation methods. Why avoid it? Marie Callender's represents the worst kind of food marketing, using nostalgic imagery and home-style claims to sell industrial food products. You're paying premium prices for artificial comfort food that's made in the same factories as cheaper brands, just with better packaging. Number 2, Stouffer's Classic Mac and Cheese. This one's going to hurt because Stouffer's has built their entire brand on being the premium frozen food option, but their classic mac and cheese is a masterclass in how to charge premium prices for industrial ingredients. The premium price, cheap ingredients. Stouffer's mac and cheese contains cooked enriched macaroni, water, cheddar cheese, modified cornstarch, butter, salt, sodium phosphate, annatto extract, and natural flavors. Despite the premium pricing, the ingredient list is nearly identical to much cheaper brands. You're paying extra for marketing and brand recognition, not quality. The water dilution. The second ingredient is water, which means Stouffer's is diluting their cheese sauce to cut costs while maintaining the appearance of creaminess through modified cornstarch. Real mac and cheese doesn't need water as a primary ingredient. It gets its consistency from actual dairy products. The artificial creaminess. Stouffer's uses modified cornstarch and sodium phosphate to create the illusion of rich, creamy cheese sauce without using the amount of real cheese and cream that would actually create that texture naturally. You're paying premium prices for artificial creaminess. The preservative load. Despite being frozen, which should preserve the food naturally, Stouffer's mac and cheese contains multiple preservatives and stabilizers to extend shelf life and maintain texture. Real mac and cheese doesn't need these chemicals when it's properly made and frozen. Why avoid it? Stouffer's represents the ultimate betrayal in frozen food, charging premium prices for the same industrial ingredients and processes used by budget brands. You're paying extra for marketing and packaging, not for better ingredients or superior taste. The classic in the name refers to their marketing strategy, not their recipe. Number 1, worst, Kraft Deluxe Mac and Cheese, frozen. And the absolute worst frozen mac and cheese is Kraft's frozen version of their boxed mac and cheese. This product represents the complete industrialization of America's favorite comfort food, turning real ingredients into a chemical cocktail designed for maximum shelf life and minimum cost. The ingredient horror show Kraft Deluxe frozen mac and cheese contains cooked enriched macaroni, water, cheddar cheese, whey, modified cornstarch, milk fat, salt, sodium phosphate, lactic acid, sorbic acid, annatto extract, enzymes, and natural flavors. But here's the shocking part: the deluxe version contains more artificial ingredients than their basic boxed version. The whey protein problem. Whey is a byproduct of cheese making that's often used as a cheap protein filler. In this context, it's used to bulk up the cheese sauce without using actual cheese. You're getting cheese manufacturing waste instead of real cheese. The sorbic acid concern. Sorbic acid is a preservative that's been linked to allergic reactions and digestive issues. It's used to prevent mold and bacteria growth, but it can also disrupt the natural gut bacteria that are essential for digestive health. The natural flavors deception. The natural flavors in Kraft's frozen mac and cheese are laboratory-created compounds designed to enhance the artificial cheese taste. These can include dozens of different chemicals, all designed to make you think you're eating real cheese when you're actually eating industrial cheese powder and artificial flavors. The texture disaster. Kraft's frozen mac and cheese has a distinctly artificial texture. It's simultaneously gummy and watery, with a fake cheese sauce that coats your mouth with an unnatural film. Real mac and cheese has a creamy, satisfying texture that comes from actual dairy products, not from industrial emulsifiers and thickeners. The addiction factor. Kraft has engineered their mac and cheese to be addictive through the combination of high sodium, artificial flavors, and specific texture compounds that trigger pleasure responses in the brain. This isn't comfort food, it's industrial food designed to create dependency. Why it's the worst. Kraft Deluxe frozen mac and cheese represents everything wrong with the American food system. A beloved comfort food turned into an industrial product designed for maximum profit and minimum nutrition. The Deluxe name is pure marketing. You're getting the same artificial ingredients as their boxed version, just in frozen form with even more preservatives. It's comfort food for corporate profits, not for human comfort. Now that we've exposed the worst offenders, let's talk about the frozen mac and cheese options that are actually worth your money and might restore your faith in frozen comfort food. Number 3, Amy's Rice Mac and Cheese, gluten-free. Amy's has been making organic, natural frozen foods for decades, and their rice mac and cheese proves that frozen mac and cheese can be made with real ingredients and still be convenient. What makes Amy's different? Amy's rice mac and cheese contains organic rice pasta, organic cheddar cheese, organic milk, organic butter, sea salt, and organic rice flour. The ingredient list is short, recognizable, and made with organic ingredients. No artificial flavors, no industrial emulsifiers, no chemical preservatives. The real cheese advantage. Amy's uses real organic cheddar cheese made from organic milk, cheese cultures, salt, and enzymes. You can taste the difference. It's actual cheese, not cheese powder or artificial cheese flavoring. The cheese melts properly and has the complex flavor that only comes from real aged cheddar. The organic commitment. All the ingredients are organic, which means no synthetic pesticides, no GMOs, and no artificial additives. The organic milk comes from cows that aren't treated with artificial growth hormones, and the organic pasta is made from rice that's grown without synthetic chemicals. The gluten-free bonus. While designed for people with gluten sensitivity, the rice pasta actually has a better texture than many wheat-based frozen mac and cheese products. It holds its shape better and doesn't get mushy like overprocessed wheat pasta. Why it's worth it? Amy's proves that frozen mac and cheese can be made with real, organic ingredients without sacrificing convenience. It costs more than industrial versions, but you're paying for actual food, not chemicals. The taste is significantly better, and you're supporting a company that prioritizes ingredient quality over profit margins. Number 2. Trader Joe's Hatch Chili Mac and Cheese. Trader Joe's has created something special with their Hatch Chili Mac and Cheese, a frozen comfort food that actually delivers on both comfort and flavor while using relatively clean ingredients. The real ingredient approach to Trader Joe's Hatch Chili Mac and Cheese contains cooked pasta, milk, cheddar cheese, cream cheese, butter, Hatch chilies, modified cornstarch, salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and spices. While it contains some processed ingredients, it starts with real dairy and real chilies, not artificial flavors. The Hatch chili difference: Hatch chilies are real peppers grown in New Mexico's Hatch Valley, known for their distinctive flavor and perfect heat level. These aren't artificial chili flavors or generic pepper powders. They're actual chilies that add authentic flavor and a gentle heat that enhances rather than overwhelms the cheese. The real dairy foundation. The sauce is built on real milk, real cheddar cheese, real cream cheese, and real butter. This creates the rich, creamy texture that comfort food should have, without relying on industrial emulsifiers and artificial thickeners. The balanced flavor profile. The combination of real cheese and real chilies creates a complex flavor that's both comforting and interesting. It's not just mac and cheese, it's an elevated version that shows what frozen comfort food can be when made with quality ingredients. The reasonable price. Trader Joe's manages to offer this quality at a reasonable price point, proving that good frozen mac and cheese doesn't have to be prohibitively expensive. You're getting real ingredients and authentic flavors without paying premium prices. Why it's excellent. Trader Joe's Hatch Chili Mac and Cheese represents the sweet spot of frozen comfort food. Real ingredients, authentic flavors, reasonable price, and genuine satisfaction. It's what frozen mac and cheese should be when companies prioritize food quality over maximum profit margins. Number 1. Best Whole Foods 365 Organic Mac and Cheese. And the best frozen mac and cheese you can buy is Whole Foods 365 Organic Mac and Cheese. This product proves that frozen comfort food can be both convenient and made with ingredients you'd actually use in your own kitchen. The Organic Excellence 365 Organic Mac and Cheese contains organic pasta, organic milk, organic cheddar cheese, organic butter, organic flour, sea salt, and organic spices. Every ingredient is organic, which means no synthetic pesticides, no GMOs, no artificial additives, and no industrial chemicals. The real cheese quality. The organic cheddar cheese is made from milk from cows that graze on organic pastures and aren't treated with artificial growth hormones or antibiotics. You can taste the difference. It's rich, complex, and has the depth of flavor that only comes from high-quality dairy. The traditional preparation. The cheese sauce is made the traditional way with real butter, real flour, real milk, and real cheese. No modified cornstarch, no sodium phosphate, no industrial emulsifiers, just the ingredients your grandmother would have used to make mac and cheese from scratch. The pasta quality. The organic pasta is made from organic durum wheat and holds its texture perfectly. It doesn't get mushy or fall apart like overprocessed pasta, and it has the satisfying bite that good pasta should have. The clean label. The ingredient list is short and completely recognizable. There are no artificial flavors, no preservatives, no industrial chemicals, just real food ingredients that you could buy separately and use to make mac and cheese yourself. The satisfaction factor. This mac and cheese is genuinely satisfying in the way that comfort food should be. The portions are reasonable, the flavors are rich and complex, and you feel satisfied after eating it, not bloated or artificially stimulated like you do with industrial versions. The value proposition. While more expensive than industrial mac and cheese, 365 Organic represents excellent value when you consider the quality of ingredients. You're getting organic dairy, organic pasta, and traditional preparation methods at a price price that's competitive with other premium frozen foods. Why it's the best. Whole Foods 365 Organic Mac and Cheese represents everything that frozen comfort food should be. Real ingredients, traditional preparation, organic quality, and genuine satisfaction. It proves that convenience doesn't have to mean compromise, and that frozen food can be both quick and wholesome. When you want the comfort of mac and cheese without the guilt of industrial ingredients, this is the gold standard. Bonus section: how to choose better frozen mac and cheese. Now that you know which specific brands to avoid and which ones are worth buying, let's talk about how to navigate the frozen comfort food aisle like a pro. 1. Read the ingredient list first. The first few ingredients should be recognizable foods: pasta, milk, cheese, butter. If you see water, modified cornstarch, or artificial flavors in the first 5 ingredients, you're looking at an industrial product, not real mac and cheese. 2. Look for real cheese. The cheese should be listed as cheddar cheese or cheese made from milk, cultures, salt, and enzymes. If you see cheese sauce, cheese product, or a long list of additives, you're getting artificial cheese flavoring, not real cheese. 3. Avoid artificial colors. Real cheddar cheese has a natural color that ranges from white to pale yellow, depending on the cow's diet. If the mac and cheese is bright orange, it's probably colored with artificial dyes or excessive annatto extract. 4. Check the sodium content. Good mac and cheese doesn't need excessive sodium to taste good. If a single serving contains more than 600 to 700 milligrams of sodium, the manufacturer is probably using salt to mask the taste of cheap ingredients. 5. Look for organic when possible. Organic mac and cheese is made without synthetic pesticides, GMOs, or artificial additives. While not all non-organic frozen mac and cheese is bad, organic certification provides assurance about ingredient quality. 6. Avoid industrial emulsifiers. Ingredients like sodium phosphate, modified cornstarch, and various gums are used to create artificial creaminess and extend shelf life. Real mac and cheese gets its texture from actual dairy products, not industrial chemicals. 7. Consider the price to quality ratio. The cheapest option is rarely the best value. When you factor in the amount of real food versus fillers and artificial ingredients, higher quality mac and cheese often provides better satisfaction per dollar spent. 8. Make your own when possible. The best mac and cheese is still homemade with real ingredients. But when you need convenience, choose frozen options that use the same ingredients you'd use at home. Real pasta, real cheese, real milk, and real butter. So there you have it, the 5 frozen mac and cheese brands you should never buy, and the 3 that are actually worth your money. The frozen comfort food aisle doesn't have to be a minefield of artificial ingredients and industrial chemicals. You just need to know what to look for and what to avoid. Remember, comfort food should actually be comforting, not just artificially stimulating. When you choose mac and cheese made with real ingredients, you're not just getting better taste, you're getting genuine satisfaction, better nutrition, and the kind of comfort that real food provides. The frozen food industry has spent decades convincing families that their chemical-laden products are somehow acceptable substitutes for real comfort food. But now you know better. You know which brands are fooling you with artificial cheese and industrial pasta, and which ones are actually delivering real food in convenient packaging. Every time you choose quality ingredients over processed alternatives, you're voting with your wallet for a better food system. You're telling these companies that you won't accept fake cheese and artificial flavors when real ingredients are available. You're demanding better for yourself and your family. Comfort food doesn't have to be a compromise between convenience and quality. With the right choices, you can have both. The satisfaction of real mac and cheese with the convenience of frozen food. Mac and cheese is supposed to be the ultimate comfort food. Warm, creamy, satisfying, and made with love. Don't settle for industrial imitations when real comfort food is available in the freezer aisle. If this video changed how you think about frozen mac and cheese, smash that like button and subscribe for more food industry exposés. Drop a comment below and let me know which frozen mac and cheese brand shocked you the most, and what's your go-to comfort food now that you know the truth. Until next time, choose real ingredients, read those labels, and never settle for artificial comfort when the real thing is available. Your taste buds and your soul will thank you. And if you thought this frozen mac and cheese investigation was eye-opening, wait until till you see our expose on what's really in America's most popular frozen dinners. From TV dinners that contain more chemicals than food to healthy options that are loaded with sodium and artificial ingredients, we're revealing the shocking truth about the frozen meals millions of Americans eat every night thinking they're getting real food. Click right here to watch and prepare to never look at the frozen dinner aisle the same way again.